Hi guys, so this is the autumn red eyeshadow look. I've done it a bit of kind of a different mix of colours. I have done for times purposes my foundation. I used Dream Matte Mousse from is it Maybelline, and then I just put a little bit of concealer from the Collection Perfection concealer, and that's got a 16-hour wear. So I thought that was quite good. I'll test that out, and then I just put my Lasting Perfection Ultimate Wear Powder. So that's all I've done so far. I've used a mixture of the Makeup Academy 15 shade palette in Fire Vixen, and then I've kind of done a mixture of my MAC Quad. So I've put them together. Then I've used some, I actually interestingly didn't use eyeliner, but you can see I have done something. And what I've done is, this is the W7 In The Buff Natural Eye Colour Palette, and what I've done is I've used this one here, black powder, as an eyeliner, and it's worked really well, guys, really well. And what I used my Studio, it's the Studio Finish London. It's actually a lip liner, guys, but because it's so thin, I've never used it for lip liner. I've always used it for liner, even for clients and myself. I've always done that, and it works really well, particularly if you do like liquid liner, but you're not particularly amazing at it, things like that. You can always build up to that. So that's what I've done so far. I haven't done any contour or blush, but I will be using my Revolution Iconic Lights Pro. And what we'll do now is just go through. This is what it looks like. I will have pictures in the next segment. So the first thing I did was I started with a base with this colour from MAC. All the quads I'll take them out afterwards and I'll name them for you. So I've done this one and this one. So I started off on this one with this one directly kind of above the lid, just to give me a bit of a base. And what I'm going to use for that is this is Bella & Bear Pompous Cat. So I actually use this just to go straight across above the lid. So what I'm going to do is show what it looks like on the brush, and I hope you guys like it. I wanted to make it a little bit, yes, red, but kind of you could turn it from day to night kind of thing. So, I mean, if you're going out with at night, you could use fake lashes and everything like that. So what I'm going to do is just look in a mirror here, guys. You should still be able to see. And I'm just going to bring that across very lightly, guys. Windshield wiper kind of things like that. And then what I will do is it will be blended out. See how I did it here? It was blended out. Then what I'm going to do is get my this is another Bella & Bear brush, and it's what I applied for the lid, and this is it's actually a blending, but it worked really well just on the lid. And the one that I'm going to go for is this one here. So I know I originally showed you like a huge quad of eyeliners, but what I felt was better was going for something that is a little less dramatic, but also you can clearly see it's red. Then what I did, I'll just open this for you, is I went straight in with they don't have names, they have numbers. This is the Fire Vixen 15 shade palette, and I went with this on the lid, and this is number 14 if you're looking for it. 14 if you're following along, if you have that. But don't particularly use these colours, guys. You can use anything you have in your palettes, just with the same colours, just kind of to mix it around a little bit. And what I'm going to do now is get that on the brush, that colour I just showed you, and just go under the lid, just here. You can see kind of how it almost exactly the colour of the lid on this side. Okay, and then what I did is, and you can see how quick it actually turns into a good look. I went with this one here, and this is again from the Mua Makeup Academy, and this is number 8. So I'm sticking to the same colours, a little bit of shade, a little bit of highlight that kind of you can see through that. That's what it looks like on the brush. And the great thing about this is I was actually able to use a lot of blending brushes. So if you don't have like these, direct kind of eyeshadow brushes, blending brushes are great, guys. And then I went into the lid like that too. So what I did then, I cleaned off my my Studio 5 Pompous Cat like this. and then I started to do the windshield wipers again, just so it really blended it out, guys. And like have done an outer V, as you can see here, and that does kind of really show itself when you do your foundation. So now what I'm going to do, and what I do a lot of times on clients too, is if it has gone a little bit too high, which I can see it has, I use a cleansing facial wipe, which is a cucumber extract, and all I do is just, and I do fill it in again, and it's automatically just done that straight away, and that's it. And then I fill it in with some powder. It doesn't affect the skin, it doesn't irritate the skin, anything like that. So that's something I do a lot of the time. And then I'm just going to do, again, I went in when all that was complete with number 6 here, which you wouldn't think I've actually used, but I have. It's shimmery and it's bright, and it's a little bit maybe of a less strong tone than the actual red, but it really worked well, guys. It really did. I actually connected the both here, so as you can see there's a slight kind of separation here, but what I did just to blend that all together really nicely, I went in with that colour. So we're going to do that now. And guys, this just, the other things, it's not too, it doesn't take you like a really big amount of time to actually do this look. And then what I did is I'm just going to create that outer V. I'm going to get my brush and I'll be right back. So guys, what I've done in the meantime is I've blended all that out just so it looks the same. And then what I've done also, what I did is when I used my, instead of liner, I used this here. Again, they're not named, oh, they are. This is Onyx, sorry, from W7 in Buff. But I wanted to say to you guys, any of these colours in terms of the red tones. So if you wanted a deeper red, you could use this directly. If you wanted a brighter red, you've got this up here. Or if you wanted something with a shimmer, you've got this. So Mua are actually a really, really good, reasonable brand. I don't go to this as much as I used to, guys, because even to get the 4, I think was quite expensive in Limerick as far as I remember, but it has kind of done me about a year or two now. But they're not something I go to straight away, especially when you can go to Superdrug or Boots or online when you can get things like Mua, W7, that kind of thing. So I wouldn't suggest going straight away for this if you're building up a kit. I would always go for something that is reputable and in between, and something basically that you can afford. So the next thing I'm going to do is, this is my Day to Night Glam Eyes, and this is from Rimmel, and I did bottom lashes and top, and so this is the lengthening and this is the volume. So I did lengthening first, and I'm just going to look in my mirror, guys. I'm hoping you can still see like that. Okay, and what I might do is just bring this one out a bit before I do my powder and contour. The way this is kind of gone out in a cat eye kind of thing, I'm going to do the same here. So I just want to get my lashes right. I'm not a huge fan, I can do them on other people, but I'm not personally a huge fan of false lashes, so I like to look at mascaras like this. So we're just going to look in the mirror there. Just as much as you can. Try not to let them dry. I know some people let them dry and then go back again, but I try to do the both volume and lashes quick as I can and then let it dry. So it kind of dries with both of them on. Okay. And I focus on the ends of the lashes, so it kind of turns them outwards a little bit, inwards I should say, and it gives the illusion of longer lashes then. But by all means, if you wanted to make this a really, really kind of glam night look, you could always go for false lashes. So that's the top done, and if I just look down, you can see they're almost even. I'm going to do a little bit more because what I think the volume really brings them out a little bit more. So I'm going to finish with the lengthening. And again, this isn't too expensive either. I got this for £6 in Superdrug. But then if you have a card, and you've built it up over time, sometimes you can get £3 or £4 off of it, depending on how much you have. So I'm just going to quickly do the volume, and I'm hoping even now you can see it, slightly see the difference it makes straight away. Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to go back with the lengthening, and I'm going to go under my eyes, my lashes. And I've already put the liner, as you can see. We're going to just... really gently, guys, and if you want to go in to make it a little bit more powerful, you can, but always start off really, really gentle. Okay, so I think that's kind of looking the same. What I'm going to do now is make that outer V a little bit more prominent. And we're going to use, for that, we are going to use this 8 again from the Mua kit, and it's this one here. You can see I've got eyeliner powder all over me. Now, so what I'm going to do is go in with my Pompous Cat. I'm going to take some of that colour I just showed you, and what I'll do first is I'm going to, as you can see I did that already, I'm going to position it first. So with this, this is the Iron Mouse from Bella and Bear. See, I'm going to do that. It just gives it more of a direction really. And then from the lash line upwards, like that, and then I'll blend. And then it'll kind of go in the directions I want it to. Okay. And that's kind of bringing it to the same level, which I wanted. Then what I'm going to do after my, because foundation is already applied everywhere, what I did then that I want to show you is I went in with my Makeup Revolution, and this is the Ultra Blush palette. But what it does have, it's called Sugar and Spice, but what it does have is these really gorgeous highlighters. This one here, and I've got another one as well. And this is again the Iconic Lights and Contour, and then it has a lovely bright highlight. And what I did on the first eye is I used that on the inner corners. So I just took some of it on my finger like that, and I looked in the mirror carefully and I literally placed it. I know it looks a little bit strong now, but as that's blended out, it really gives the, oh, and I've done it again, but I'll just show you. You can see just kind of it makes everything else look that bit stronger. And also you have under eye kind of covered if you feel tired or anything like that. And then what I did very carefully with that is I used my, it's a buffing brush, but I used the corners and just gently softened it a bit. So I'm not taking it away, I'm just positioning it. So that was the eyes. I hope people like it. Then what, and I mean, change it up to what you like. If you want a huge, stronger red, definitely go for it. I wanted to do something for people that they could use in the day, but then absolutely kind of, if you wanted to go out with your work friends or anything like that, or on a Saturday night, Friday, Thursday, you could definitely kind of glam it up a bit more. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution that you've just seen, and these are the contours here. I usually go in between these two. Again, they're not named. So what I'm going to do is use my Real Techniques, and this is the, I think it's just the, yeah, contour brush. So I'm going to use this one here, and we're going to get that on the brush. And I usually start from the top of the ear to about here, and then I blend. I'm going to just, and I thought today, guys, the, I know it looks a bit strong, but actually when it's blended with the buffing brush from Real Techniques, it really looks good, guys. I thought I'd use today as a, you know, it looks, I do this on clients too, and they get a little bit frightened, but then when they see the end result, I learned it from Makeup Academy that I did with you guys a while ago. I know it looks strange, but then what you do, this is how they taught us, is you get your, any blush, this is my buffing brush, but any brand is fine. Or I've got this one, and this is just a normal kabuki, whichever you prefer. Start off lightly, and all you do is just circles like this. You can see, and I've done the highlight as well, so it's really gonna, all the kind of areas of the face are going to be defined. So, and this is just where the sun would naturally hit your face, but then it makes you come in a little bit in your cheekbones and things like that as well. And then what I'm going to do is, this is a completely clean brush because that one was used I think yesterday, but just for foundation, powdered foundation. So what I'm going to do now is this, as you can see, really, yeah, really, I'm just checking the mirror there. It just, you buff until you're comfortable basically. Then what I did is I used this colour here. They're not named again. I got my Makeup Academy. These are brushes I still use and still, they're brilliant. And what I did is I used a skin tone powder, as you can see here, just to define all the parts of the face. But I used here today just because the light hits it better. So if it's a tutorial, definitely wanted to do that. And sometimes you can even, if you don't have that colour, you can just use powder foundation. And what you can do is get the same brush. You can see it's on the brush there, and literally just defines all the areas of the face, as you can see. I personally think with this I wouldn't use blush today. You could if you wanted to. I like how it's looking now. And you can see now it's really, and you can even just gently pop this under the eyes if you feel you look tired. Now, that is what I wanted to do for the requested eyeshadow look in autumn, which can then, as I said before, definitely be changed up tonight. And now this is the lipstick palette Siren from Sleek, and this is what they look like. I love them, guys, and they stay on quite well. I haven't personally used this because it's mine, and I like to kind of, my fingers are clean, and I like to kind of position it a bit better. So I've got my mirror here, and what I'm going to do is just get a close-up. I've got two sides, and I'm going to be using this one. No, I'm going to be using this one here. So all I do is, it's very creamy, so you don't have to feel like it's drying out on your lips. It's not. And it looks a bit over the top now, but as it's blended into both, it kind of calms down. And it just, the thing is, a little bit of a lighter colour then doesn't take over the eye look. You could go for a really, really rich red. Plum would be nice too, but I think with a really rich red, you have red already. A little lighter or a little darker. So a little peach, or if you wanted to go darker, a plum. That's what I think really suits. And whatever goes with your skin tone too, guys. Just always remember that. So for me personally, this is what I would go for. And again, I know it looks... And I'm literally dabbing, guys, as you can see. And then... And again, it actually feels really glossy. It doesn't dry out. So I'm happy with that look, guys. You could obviously change anything you wanted. I hope this was useful to somebody. As you can see, most of my products were either W7, Makeup Revolution, Sleek, the Collection brand from, I think it's Superdrug's own brand. So yes, I feel that you can definitely build up a really reasonable kit. I do have one or two MAC products, but things like foundation, if you really, really have sensitive skin, definitely go for something like Clinique, or I know MAC do really nice primers, and there is some like creams you can get. But for me, thankfully, I can use things like the Collection now, because what I'm trying to do, as you know, I'm doing Juice Plus, is trying to kind of work from the inside out with my skin. So I hope this was helpful. There will be pictures in the next segment, and I'll see you in the next video.